well. It is well. It is well in the name of Jesus. It is well with my soul today. It is well. It is well. It is well in the name of Jesus. It is well with my soul today. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. How's everyone doing? Good afternoon, good evening. Obodo fam. Achowe Saloto. Sam Olu, how are you doing? I hope you are coming to mine. I'm expecting you on the 10th. Make sure you come. Welcome, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon. How is everybody doing? I salute you. I Trowe salute. Bumi Lord, thank you very much for being here. I hope we are well. I hope the week is going on good for you with work-life balance. Today is Tuesday, the 16th of May, 2023. Thank you so much, everyone. Give us a thumbs up. Ruth Richardson, welcome. Cynthia, baby, how you doing, love? Welcome. Achowe salute. So our last stream was I think it was on Saturday. Yeah, it was on Saturday we had our live stream that took a completely different turn from how we intended it to happen. These things happen here on this platform. That's why it's a live show. Sometimes we just get guests, I'll be waiting till they call them callers that will just come in and we will even forget what we they talk initially. Because the last show we were talking about, all this monetization of dates. Maureen Itrowe salutes. Momo's beautiful craft, welcome. Itrowe salutes. And then we had a very interesting gentleman who came in and completely changed the trajectory of the show. Completely. It became very, very heated, but it was still a very, very stimulating conversation. If you haven't seen that video or you not managed to catch up, I strongly recommend that you go and watch it. The title is Broke Guys or Greedy Girls. And very interesting because at some point, about an hour in, somebody who identifies themselves as a very traditional man. And guys, I'm just going to say one thing. If you are a modern day woman, yeah, and you believe that marriage or relationship should be partnership, and there is, partners in everything. Or if you are a Christian, you believe that marriage should be covenant. I advise you very strongly to stay away from self-acclaimed traditional men. There are some self-acclaimed traditional men that their views are very, very, in my opinion, dangerous. Yeah. I'm sure some women, they're okay, they don't mind, being with people like that. But it's not, those kind of men are not for everybody. Every malan to their kettle abi. Yes, that's what we did talk. Anyway, welcome everybody. We're not going to rehash what happened on that show, but we are going to draw from, those lessons, especially on Thursday. Some today, and then on Thursday, I have guests on Thursday, and we're really going to be talking about jackpot marriages and this whole scenario. People are saying on social media that people are married in Nigeria successfully for years. When they jackpot, within 2 years the marriages ends. So we're going to talk about that in more details on we'll talk about that in more details on Thursday. So make sure you join us. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very, very much. Welcome. I always salute. So that same show, yeah, they aren't for everybody. Mandy love. No, they are not. They are not for everybody. Hello, Sister Chibola, my darling says, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Give us a thumbs up as you are coming in. Tonight, we want to talk about something that appears to be a trend now Ola, man of prestige, I hail you. Mhm. I didn't know this until very recently. Facts. There are so many things that I don't know about because obviously I'm not out there, so I don't know what's happening. It's all this Gen Z that keeps telling me what is going on in terms of dating, relationships. Maureen said, I've met such men here abroad and I just shake my head in sadness. You can take a man from Africa, but you cannot take African traditions out of some men. That's correct. But interestingly, Maureen, it's not all African men who are even traditional that believe some of the things that that man was, the things he was saying that day. Hmm. It's very, very tricky. That subject of traditional African man. I'm a traditional African man is kind of very, very tricky. And that's where I'm going tonight. Because we are talking about something that appears to be a trend now, whereby diasporan African men go to Africa, particularly Nigeria, the biggest nation in all of Africa, to go and take wives with the sole purpose of leaving them there, not bringing them to the diaspora, of which they do not disclose to these gullible young girls, right? So Tonya is here. She's going to share with us uh, her own friends, a very close friend's personal experience. But before then, I wanted to share with you guys a video that I saw on Dr. Shala's platform, which, he invited a young man, and the young man was talking about why men are running away from marriage. And he also touched on the fact that this is a thing now. Like I said, I was not aware. I had no idea that this has become a thing now that, okay, all these stubborn women, when I know the hear word, you people don't want to be like your grandmother and your mother. You know too much. Una know too much. Ẹ fà máa gbọ́ ọkọ yín lẹ́nu. Ẹ fẹ́ gbọ́rọ̀ sọkọ yín lẹ́nu. Kí ló dé? Wàhálà yìí ti pọ̀ jù. So the only way we can reduce you to size is to marry you and keep you where you belong, which is apart. So increasingly, we are seeing a number of people who are going from the diaspora, brothers who are going to marry in Nigeria, leaving their wives and children in Nigeria, and they come to the diaspora to live like bachelors, like single guys. So Tonya will share with us, that experience, because this one is quite deep, of which the woman is now asking, is he married? Does he have another family? This was not the plan. When he came to marry me, he told my parents that he was going to process my papers and bring me so that we live together. I mean, let me backtrack a little bit. Let me backtrack a little bit. Cynthia, you said we should talk about passport bros. Which one is passport bros? I don't think I understand. Who is passport bros? So if I can backtrack a little bit, what is the purpose of marriage? Why do we marry in the first place? Hmm? It depends on where you are coming from or where you are in your life. If you ask me, people marry for companionship, they marry for procreation. Christians marry because the Bible instructs us that it is better for you to marry than for you to burn. So you should have a partner or you should have a spouse so that you can live together as one, cleave together. And that's why the Bible says that a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave unto his wife, and the two will become one. Right? For the purpose of doing kerewa without committing sin, and for also the purpose of, because the family, the nuclear family is the smallest, you know, that's how societies are built. It's the smallest unit in society. I'm trying to create this background because we need to. It seems like the concept of marriage is changed so much because of all these things that Ola is always talking about, power dynamics. So a lot of brothers feel like women who come from Africa background, especially Nigerian women, they've outgrown their feathers. They know too much. Nigerian women, their wala is too much. They've forgotten their custom and tradition. Mhm. Okay. Adewale is giving me some context about passport bros. Passport bros are the I'ma go to Africa to get me some submissive African sister. Oh, I never knew that's what they are called. So some African American brothers. Ah, I see. We had one here who went to Nigeria. Oh, that one was a very sad case, Cynthia. Chai. She was a single mother, and this the way you call them passport bros went to Nigeria to marry her. It was all a joke. Took her to America with her children. She found out that he did it as a joke. I mean, that was the most one of the most twisted stories I've ever seen on this platform. So that one is a different conversation entirely. But tonight we are talking about people who are deliberately going to marry because they don't want their wives to be westernized. They don't want them to forget about their training, their African tradition and culture, and they deliberately leave them in Africa, Nigeria in particular. Because I don't think people have a lot of problem with women that come from other African backgrounds. It's mostly Nigeria. Nigerians are the ones that you know, a lot of Nigerian men are butting head with Nigerian women because they feel like Nigerian women are too independent. We have a lot of masculine energy. We are not feminine enough. We are not, submissive enough. Or like can I say that day we are not subordinate. That is, we are not allowing superiority. We are not allowing people to be superior. Why dare you not allow your husband to be superior? But I mean, seriously, people are looking for, they are not looking for partnerships. Sadly, it's so sad to know that people will live in a diaspora and they will hold on to some very, very misogynistic and patriarchy views about marriage and relationships because they see marriage as servant leader or servant master relationship. They don't think that as a husband that I'm the head of the family and that makes me a leader. And a good leader is a servant. Being a leader means that you lead by examples, but they see it as a superior form of relationship whereby you have to control. Mhm. So this set of gentlemen, unfortunately, some of them are brothers unwilling to compromise, consider any other opinion outside marriage. They are very rigid in their beliefs in tradition, the way it was 50, 100 years ago. They can change in every area of their life, but they cannot change when it comes to marriage and relationship. It should remain the way my forefathers did it. That is their opinion. A woman is not supposed to have a voice. You're not supposed to speak. You should just follow. A woman is meant to be seen, not to be heard. Okay? So this idea of marrying somebody and deliberately leaving them, I mean, Tonya will share with us in a minute, but I've seen this situation that Tonya is talking about whereby this man is an American citizen, went to Nigeria and married this young woman, and this uncle want to be doing phone kerewa. He wants to be doing phone kerewa. I mean, we talk about, marriages and what does it entail to be a husband or a wife? What do you bring in terms of, provision, protection, and all that? But what about the part that we least talk about, which, in my opinion, is perhaps the most important aspect of marriage and relationship, is the emotional aspect of it. How do you fulfill your emotional or the nurturing aspect of relationship meeting needs? I mean, people have needs. How? You're supposed to be in a romantic relationship. How do you meet that need if you choose to leave your wife in Nigeria and you visit her? So this woman said, my husband is a visitor. He visits twice, thrice a year. And the main question I want to ask here tonight is, Every day we are shouting here about paternity fraud. Women are bringing pregnancies that don't belong to their husbands to them. And this is one of the biggest problems that a lot of men who have these views, they say, this day you need to do DNA. I agree with all that, yeah. But are you not leaving room? Because even the Bible says that if you must separate, eh, it must be temporarily and it must be based on agreement. So the day I was doing my live stream with Pastor Shola, and he was asking about women, all these churches women who are over religious and over zealous, and they're always talking about fasting and prayers, and they won't sleep with their husbands. And he was asking me that question about how some women will not give their husband care for months, sometimes years, because they are fasting. And I said, well, to me, as far as I know and what the Bible teaches about this, they are in error. They are completely wrong because the teaching is clear. If you say you are a Christian, it is very clear. It says, do not separate from one another so that you do not leave room for temptation. All of you are Bible scholars, please put the verse there in the comment section for me. Even when you want to fast or you want to separate yourself, it should not be for long. So how do you live thousands of miles away from your husband and wife? And this is a permanent situation. 10, 15 years. It's not because of circumstances, okay? But yeah, kò sí way, you don't have document to travel. This is a deliberate act. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm a social worker. Me, I'm always risk assessing everything, and I'm always looking at everything at the point of, it's DV. This is emotional DV. It's emotional DV. So you marry a wife, you keep her in Nigeria, and you stay in America, you stay in Canada, you stay in the UK because you don't want her to be westernized. What about your children? You are a stranger. They don't know you. They just know they have a father somewhere. You call and talk to them. Who is going to raise your children for you? Hmm? So she's married, but she's a single mother in the marriage. Single mother. Raising children alone. The worst part is the ones that don't even support such women financially. They don't. They don't see the need to support them financially. So they'll be sending money to once in 3 months, paying school fees directly to the school. Nah. So that's what we are looking at today. Is this not leaving room for, if you are a man here and you deliberately leave your wife in Naija, take it from me. It's only a few, very few that still have the fear of God. And suru to Lord Johnny, because it's only a question of time before you know. And that is why I was quoting that Bible scripture that said, you shouldn't leave room for Satan. Tonya said that this situation is 18 years. Abby, I'm saying 18 years, 18 years, 18 years. It's only a question of time. You two, you'll be carrying on your relationships and affairs in the abroad. And most certainly, with time, the woman, no matter how she thinks oh, I'm a child of God, I can't do this, they sin. With time, people will start whispering to her, do you know what he's doing there? And you know our people, hey, you don't know what he's doing there. Oh. Maybe he has another wife, your second wife. Better sit down here and be waiting. Before you know, a brother in the church will start validating her. Oh. So, wrote that down. Think about it very critically and risk assess that situation because some validation that will happen last. You have children that do not belong to you last. Last ni ọmọ àlè ló máa gbé wá fún yín. If you think that you are being smart, because the whole purpose of getting married is for you to enjoy one another. Why would you want to live apart from your spouse because of your preconceived notions or ideas about, you know, eh, what you think she will become when she comes abroad. You might think you are wise, but somebody date noni unlobade. Guys, give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. You will be validating others, and somebody will be validating her. Then last, everybody will shop breakfast, like Burna Boy said. Okay, so I'm going to play this video of the young man I was talking about. This is what he had to say about this. Then we'll listen to Tonya, and then we'll take calls. Right.
Now, one thing that is also important is we are also getting there. Okay. In a matter of years, the men would see men are used to certain things. They don't need a father or a man figure to see them and say, okay, this is what you will do as a man. It's just there. They inherited it. They don't need anybody to mentor them. It's just there. Right. So now it will take time to get everyone to that level. Some of us are there. We know it's supposed to be a partnership, but some people are still slow. They're like snails. It takes long to catch up.
So why is it that some of the guys, they believe they must be a millionaire before they get married?
I think it boils down to just wanting to be the one to do it. And now, if the woman is already making 6 figures, then he's thinking, I need $1 million. Now, if the woman was making thousands, then it would say, okay, I want to make 6 figures. Right? But because women have stepped up their games, they are up to the game, right? Yeah. So to be able to beat that competition, you need to aspire for something extraordinary. So they can say, I want to be a billionaire. 20 years ago, maybe they wouldn't say a billion. Maybe they would say, I just want to have 100,000.
Is this coming from trying to control? For a man is thinking.
Is it there? So they are talking about money here and why men always want to be the one that earn more. So Pastor Shola is asking about whether it's coming from a place of, I think it's coming from a place of insecurity. So, I mean, what I can drop here in terms of lessons is for if you are a woman who earns really good money, you don't need to be looking for somebody who earns less. Okay, it's not about what he's earning now. It's also about looking at potentials and drive, ambition, and confidence. Let me tell you something. It's about the confidence, and some people are so secured in themselves. Some young men are so assured about their prosperity, and they are not just saying it, they are working hard. You can see that this person, the way they are going, in 10 years, they will give you their short-term plan and their long-term plan. But some others, unfortunately, are very insecure. Because you are a nurse now, that's why you want to control me. Those people, it's not about, sometimes and I'm not saying that some women who earn more don't lord it over their husbands. Some are like that. I know my gender, right? Some of our gender will use it to every minute to say, after all, it's me that is doing this, me that is doing this. But some are very, very humble. They will still submit, and they don't see it as a problem anymore. But if a man is so insecure because he's not earning more, then it becomes a problem. It's not about you. It's about what he thinks you are going to do. Even before you do it, he will start saying, hey, because you earn more now. Hey, you want to control me? Those who are Yoruba in the house know the meaning of that. You want to turn me to a tomboy. You want to turn me to bomboy. It shouts loud. Insecurity. That, personally, I like very confident people. And there is something that comes with confidence. When a man is very secure, he's very, very, very sexy. It is. You don't need to have all the money now, but you just look at their patterns, their work, their habits. You will know that this one, it will make it. Oh my, make any. And if both of you come together, you do amazing things. That's all you need. That's all you need.
As opposed to control. I have to be in control.
That's the problem.
Is this stuff coming from there?
That's the problem. It's coming from the place of wanting to control. Maybe not. Maybe the word control is too harsh.
Because I don't think control should be in marriage anyway.
Unfortunately, it is what it is. For most people, they want to see the men are coming to a stage where they had rather stay single, huh?
Yeah.
Go get all the money, go get everything,
Mhm.
then go and pick a woman
Mhm.
from, even it's not even a Nigerian thing, even here in America.
Mhm.
Most white people, even most Americans, are leaving the Western women here. They're going to Mexico, they're traveling across the sea to go look for a woman that they can put on that pedestal. Because the women here already hop to the game. So you see them with their millions, they fly across the sea to go and marry a woman. Why are they doing that? Because of the control. It's right there.
But to me,
So this control thing, this control thing is a real thing. Control, control, control. So one of the reasons, guys, give us a thumbs up if you are just coming in. We are talking about people who go from the diaspora, mostly brothers who go to marry in Nigeria, and they leave their wives there because they don't want them to be westernized. They don't want, they are traditional men, and they want them to retain the culture and tradition of their people. And then they live apart all their marital life. And I'm asking the question, Kwe, are you not leaving room for paternity fraud? Ṣé wọn ò ní gbọ́mọ àlè wá fún yín báyìí? Uncle, ṣé rò pé ẹ̀yin lẹ bí ọmọ yẹn? Okay, oh, ẹ rò dáadáa o. Think about it very critically. Because sometimes you can be penny wise and you are very pound foolish. Marriage is something that you are supposed to enjoy, being together. Some people, they just enjoy companionship. They just enjoy even having dinner or lunch together. Some people enjoy going to church together. Some people enjoy traveling together. There's something that has to be together. How is it together when you are visiting your wife in Africa? How? How are you together? In 365 days a year, 300 years, you are not there. 300 days, you are not there. Maybe 65 days, you are there, of which you will stagger it twice visit. How many holiday? You in America, especially when I know they get holiday. You guys don't have long holidays. If you have a job, maybe you have 2-3 weeks a year. Even in the UK, 4 weeks. So how do you spend time together as a couple? How do you raise your children? That's what we're talking about. So it's just, I'm just going to finish this very quickly and then I'll allow Tonya to speak.
to me, it's strange because maybe I'm from a different school of thought. For me, I believe I want a woman that is successful. I want a woman that is successful, and I want to be successful too. And if my wife is successful, that's my success also. And then when it comes to wanting to control, I don't think control should be there. I think it's supposed to be me loving her, respecting her, and making sure that she's happy.
Hey, try, Pastor Shola. God will bless you. Why do people like this get it? They get it. They get it so much that when you love a woman, she will submit and somersault to you. All you need to do is just love her enough. Women, our mumu button, Jesus. I wish brothers will understand it. It's very, very easy. Just love a woman enough when she feels loved and she feels safe. Chai, submission. Wait till be that one. Not small thing now. Not small thing. Chai.
For me to be able to live the kind of life I want to live too. Because if you want to put the provision on your own neck alone, like I want to be the one doing it, the society that we live here is not built on the shoulder of one man.
Absolutely.
And that man will actually overwork himself to the extent that he's going to die young. But if you actually, kind of like spread out the weight, as like my wife is successful, I'm successful, or maybe she's more successful, all right? And she's carrying the weight and I'm carrying a little bit of weight. And she loved me and I love her and she respects me and I respect her. I really don't think any kind of ego will make me to feel like I'm not in control. I am still in control.
Yes.
Even though she's making money. Because if you leave America and you go to a village in Nigeria, because you are rich, but you don't want to marry another person that is rich, and then you go to a village in Nigeria, are you sure that woman you are bringing from the village is not going to turn around in another 10 years?
Absolutely. That is why today, most of them would not even bring them over.
Shine, Shangbo, did you hear that? He said that is why today most of them will not bring them. That's where I'm going to. Most of them will not bring you over. Oh, Nigerians, if you are listening, all of you young ladies, they say they are not bringing you over anymore. Oh. Emma Joko Pasiben, you go sit down for Nigeria till you get gray hair. They wait for Americana. Americana no go come. Oh. If he come now to visit you and carry you and give you belly.
We're going to keep them there.
Keep them over there. Because once they come over here, they believe that, oh, they will understand the system.
Yeah.
And they start competing with them. So they'd rather have someone from, the far village, keep her there. Before they will go and bring them, right? But now they're not even doing that any longer.
Shangba.
So they go to the village or to Nigeria, get the girls, get them pregnant, give them a house, give them a car, and keep them there and send them money every month.
Yeah.
And then they stay here living like
and enjoy their life. Yeah.
As a single man.
As a single man. And they have kids, they have women, wives at home.
Wow.
Yeah. I believe most men are running for something. They're running away from something.
What is that? What are they? What's scaring them?
They are running away from losing that. The men always think that they need to have a grip or hold on their woman. Okay. And the moment they sense any little thing that will make them lose that, they don't mind any other options.
This young man here, I don't know what his name is, but I was very, very impressed with his analysis. It made perfect sense. So, there you have it, coming from a man. He's a man who, a man who is the one that told us, this is the new thing, no? So, if you see anybody that is asking to marry a family member of yours who is a woman in Nigeria, send them this video. This is the new plan, where they will leave you there because they don't want you to come to the abroad because they want a grip. They want a grip, Eshegoni, thank you very much. Give us a thumbs up. I'm bringing in Tonya now. Tonya has a personal, very close experience. Hello, darling. How are you?
Hi, everybody. Hello, Sister B. Am I loud and clear?
Yes, my darling. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Before I start, Sister B, I just want to please, I need you to keep me, tell me lower your pitch. So usually I'm a very soft-spoken person. But when I get too emotional, especially with injustice, something that it has to do with you, like you're crushing a human being that you have no power over. The destiny of that person is not in your hand. It gets me so worked up, and you might find my voice rising. So just
I'm
tell
like
me,
that too.
lower
I
your
understand.
pitch, please.
It's okay.
I really need
I understand.
that.
Some people cannot, their heart cannot take injustice. I'm like that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
okay,
first of all, I'm just going to talk a little bit about myself briefly, then I'll move over to this friend turned sister.
Right.
She's a friend turned sister. Like, she has every right to be called my sister, and that's what she calls me too. So I'll leave it at that. But I will talk about myself, then I'll move on to her.
Okay.
Now, I'm a very, very confident woman, very assertive. I know what I want. I'm that confident person back then in Nigeria that most guys see me as a threat.
And you're an Igbo girl, for that matter.
Correct Igbo girl. Igbo. So, I did not settle for less, and I was not ready to settle for less. To any girl out there, especially the younger ones who somehow you feel you have to settle, you feel you have to be a bit timid, you feel you just have to crush yourself or hide yourself. It's only a matter of time. If you hide yourself so much, and just because you're trying to please that guy, tomorrow after marriage, he will say you've changed. If you ask my husband, he's going to tell you I'm the same. Now, I've been married, very happily married. Put that in quotes. I think people like us and the couple that spoke to us sometimes back, the ones in Abuja, when people say, well, I am very happily married. And shout out to every confident man out there. Man of prestige, Samolu,
Bio. Our brother Bio, brother
and many
Patrick,
others that are not on this
Adewale,
platform.
our prince.
All of you and many others. Daddy Wa, shout out to all you confident men that know your own. You hold your own. You are not shaking. Nothing is shaking you. You are not afraid that a woman is taking your place. You are the man.
Yes.
And hold on to your being a man. Allow a woman to be her feminine self. There's nothing wrong with femininity. So that's me. Shout out to my very, very wonderful husband and many people. So I'm very, very happily married, and I give glory to God. It's not by my power. Now, on the contrast, is such a very, very touching thing. This sister, she was in Nigeria, a graduate already, as at the time the husband came to meet her, had even topped up her degree doing a PhD. And this man came to Nigeria through referral. I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. That's how we always refer. All of us, I'm on that table. We like to refer. I know somebody. That was how he came, and it was spelled out clearly that he wants a wife. As at the time he was coming to marry, he should be over 40. Now that's even questionable. Age is nothing but a number. Fine.
He said that
as soon as
the person should be above 40.
He was 40 at the time. He claimed he's never been married.
Right.
And he's looking for a wife. And he was very particular about looking for a wife. There's a kind of wife he wants. Timid people, you see, not my type. That will look at you and we are like, no, I'm not taking that. By the time you raise one hand, we'll hold out your hand and say, if you try that nonsense. Well, so he got the type of lady he wanted. That's my friend. It was very clear that after marriage, they're going to move to America. Let me make it very clear. She did not marry him because she wanted to go to America. It was discussed, yes. Yes, it was.
Okay. And he offered that?
He said so, yes.
Okay. I need to establish that.
Yes. And again, she wasn't marrying him because he's now abroad. She was just at that time when she was ready to be married. That's just what it was by chance. So, and she was okay with it. Now they got married. In the last 10 years of marriage, that man has only been to Nigeria about 3 times, if I'm correct. So he's not even the visiting husband that comes every year. No, the one that comes every 3 years.
3 times in 10 years.
Yes, if I'm correct. She's listening, so I've asked her to correct me. She has refused to come and speak. She's still very shy. She's worried he might recognize her voice.
He will hear her. I think I support that because our videos go very fast, so he will see it.
So, but I've really pleaded with her. You need to come on this platform, please. Do I need to send data to you? Do you know what can I do to make you come on?
No, she wouldn't, because she's still hoping that things will change. He's her husband.
Okay. Well, in that 3 times that he's come to Nigeria, his aim was to always get her pregnant.
That's
he was very, very particular about getting her pregnant.
He was coming once in 3 years.
There's a group of bachelors, from what I gathered, in California. They are very particular about getting married to women in Nigeria and making them comfortable.
California, in America.
They are very particular about getting married to women and getting them pregnant, busy. Like, they have to be busy. As soon as she's dropping one, try and go back home, get her pregnant, get her busy there in Nigeria. But this brother has broken the code, if there's a code per se. In his own case, he doesn't even make his wife comfortable or the children. He's a really absent dad. So I don't know if it would have been different if he was providing financially for them. I doubt.
At least it will make a little bit of difference.
Okay.
If he's not there physically, he's not providing emotional satisfaction. Physically, there's no career. I mean, you said 3 times in 10 years. So finance at least will make up a little bit. Not completely, but a little bit.
One of the time he came back, and this friend of mine listened to me. I told her, you must go and do family planning. You must. If you don't you ever call me in your life again. So she did family planning. The brother came back and was running about, trying to, what's happening? He actually brought up money that he can't drop for feeding to go and do IVF. Paid almost 2 million naira for IVF. And she was just looking and laughing.
Did she agree?
Wondering. Of course, she agreed. Allow him to pay the money. If he didn't spend the 2 million, he was not going to give it to her.
She submitted herself to IVF.
They've paid the money. The process have not started, but somehow she managed to tell the doctor, "Look at you, I'm more than okay. But you see, this ship has sailed." Now, when I'm coming on Obodo platform to speak on her behalf, it's because at least I see a little bit of light in her. Someone that at least can listen to advice, even though you give her the push and the push and the push and the push again, but again, taking that step, I think is a good thing. There's no point bringing children into this world where she, in particular, cannot look after them if it were up to her. That's what I said to her. Give birth to the number of children you can look after with or without this man. What's the point? So he tried, and at the end of the day, the thing didn't work. He got frustrated and left back to US. Well, whatever it is they plan, Mr. Kene and all his cohorts, wherever they are, if it's you guys plan to just go back to Nigeria, marry a woman, in quote, you think you make her comfortable. Comfort has nothing to do with paying the rent, giving her a car, whatever you guys term as comfort. That is not what marriage is all about. If you read your Quran or your Bible, that is not the essence of marriage.
Absolutely.
Marriage is beyond that. There should be companion,
Hey,
emotional support, social
everything
support.
you said now, all I can think about is 3 times in 10 years. 3 times. No kerewa.
Now, that worry is not just when he comes back. It's about the demon that he will infiltrate into her life. The disease. It's very personal. So I asked her if he had ever infected her. Well, she wouldn't disclose that part to me because that's not the big deal to her.
I don't get you. What do you mean demon disease? What's that?
Well, a man that has been away, you don't know if he's married or out there, or if he even have a wife here in Nigeria. Or she has done her background, but there's nothing in Nigeria as far as she's concerned. So she's a spiritual person. She is a spiritual person, right? Spiritual in the sense that she do go to MFM to pray and all, but then she stopped. But she's worried that who are the people he's meeting, and when he comes to her, the contact, how the impact is going to have on her. That's what she means. That's her worry. Now, wake up and leave. Carry your load and
it's not so easy. No.
Look after yourself. No, it's not easy for her.
No, it's not. It's not. I understand. I completely understand where she is because I know how Nigeria is. Tonya, you are thinking because you are in the UK, you don't understand. Nigeria is a different ball game. No, you don't. It's not easy. Being married alone in Nigeria is a big tag that is celebrated. They did wedding, everything. Your husband is abroad. It's better than you have no husband or you are a single parent. In Nigeria, they don't care whether it comes once in 3 years. Your husband is abroad.
Yes. It's so sad that about 2 years ago, one of her neighbors and business associates managed to find my number from her phone because she speaks so highly of me, and called me to say, "Look, I am so person. I'm calling on behalf of I'll call her Sister V, right? She's a shadow of herself. Is there nothing you people can do? How can you people just be there? If she was to die, what's going to become of her?"
Try.
So that really touched me.
So, I mean, where is she now? What does she want to do, Tonya? We need to find out. Is she in a point now where she just want to find out his situation in America? Does she want to keep waiting? Or she wants to leave?
3 questions to ask, yes.
Okay, and, we need to know the question.
Her breakthrough came last year when I made her understand that I gave her some things to read. I said, go and read about narcissistic men. She realized that every character he was exhibiting was narcissism. That was when she began to understand. She no longer argued with him. She understood that she doesn't have to cry on the phone when she's demanding for children's school fees because that gives him joy. He feeds on it. He'll be laughing.
His own children.
From the time I asked her to read about this, she said, this man is high on this. Like he exhibits every single character about narcissistic person, human being. He feeds on her pain and her sorrow. And the last time he came back, he actually said she had changed. He kept saying she had changed. She doesn't know how she has changed, but there's something different about her. And what's different is that she now understands the man that she's married to.
Yeah,
That he's
because
not, he's not okay upstairs.
we
He's not
always talk
okay.
about how narcissists and all these people that are not well balanced, they target, they pick their victim very carefully.
He did
That's why
pick
they
his
don't
victim.
go for women that are assertive, all this loud mouth like us. Mm-mm. They run away from us. We know too much. They pick, and you said something, Tonya, that he was specific about the kind
Yes.
of woman that he wanted.
Yes.
Why do you think it was so specific? Because he needed somebody he can put
He can
under subjugation.
control.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
He needed
What does
somebody
she
he can
want?
control.
What does she want?
So, first of all, she's asking to know, does he have a family in US or not? Not that she can, I don't know what she will do with that, but maybe that will give her a
It's good
closure.
to
That will
know.
be what she
Yes.
needs to move
Closure.
forward,
Yeah.
right? And secondly, she's asking, since he drops his 50,000 naira every now and then, could be once in 3 months, it could be once in 2 months,
50,000 naira
50,000
cannot buy
naira.
nothing in Nigeria. I just came back from Nigeria. 50,000 cannot buy jack. It can't even
It can't.
feed you for 1 week in
$50,
Nigeria.
15 pounds, it's nothing. Now she's asking if there's going to be hope for her children. At least he's a citizen. He's lived in America for way longer. If
Her children can go.
he can't even tell her how long he has lived there. You see, but from her calculation, she estimated it to be about 20 years or more. So she's asking if her children can get. Is there a way they can regularize their stay or citizenship or something? Because the man has sworn that over his dead body, he's repeating that again, that he's not going to bring her or the children. She should forget about it.
So
I
that's
spoke
the
to her
answer
this
now.
morning. And I said, we were just talking in that line. She said she brought it up again when they were talking just last night. And he said, no. The new method is he no longer bothers to threaten her that they will never come, blah, blah, blah. She and the children should forget. Now, the moment she says, when are you going to start doing her papers? You just cut the phone.
Tonya, Nwane, Nne. You know I love you so much, and I know that she's listening. My darling, I don't know you. Oh, but I think you're a beautiful woman. I've seen your picture, but you are a
Sent you her
victim.
picture.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're a
I
victim
also
of.
sent her over the farm. I also sent sister
No,
B
it's okay. Don't
chat.
just leave that.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
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 Leave that. That's between us.
Okay.
You
It's
are a
sad
victim.
how a Mongo Park like
She's
that,
not
some other
going to
women are
America.
lining up.
Forget about
Some
America.
other people are lining up to enter that man's. I don't know how women do that.
Tonya, he's told her clearly, and this is the thing we always say
He
about
mean it.
men.
Yeah.
He said they are never over his dead body. What else do you want to
Yes.
hear now?
Yes.
Nne, you are not going to America. Your children are not going to America. What you need to focus now is how to move your life forward with your children and how to survive in that reality that you find yourself. But I'll take
Now,
calls.
that brings me to the third question, and I'll conclude. I've
Yeah.
asked the first two. Then the third one, she's saying she no longer understands herself, her body, her senses. He came
She's
over
depressed.
last year. She is depressed. Her
She's
picture, she
depressed.
looks 20 years older than her age. I actually told her what she was going through, and told her, I think I'm not a psychologist, but I think you're in that stage.
Yes.
Where you are depressed.
She's
How can you
depressed.
be walking on the street and you're talking to yourself? According to those who called me to tell me that, do something about this, your friend.
That's how mental health starts. So, mental illness. That's how it
So the
starts. So,
third, yeah, absolutely. And so the third thing, she's asking that she doesn't understand herself. So I already know that I think it's depression, but she thinks that the last time he came, he had put some charms, whatever on her, because she can't think straightforward. I sent you some evidence of options she can have to move forward, but she's drawing back. She's scared of making moves in her life, career change or something that will help
Does
her.
she have family? Is she surrounded by family?
She is surrounded by family, but guess what? She can't even open her mouth to tell her family what she's going through.
So her
Trust
family
me.
doesn't know all this thing you are telling us.
They have an idea. Two of her family, I send this link, I send this video to them, ask them, you need to come on this show because I'll be talking about your sister.
You're a good
I don't know.
friend.
Yeah.
Donna,
So
you're a good friend.
her family have a clue by observation. These are the people that goes to the hospital when she's giving birth and standing as because the runaway or the absent father is not there. So for her to deliver, usually she delivered through CS. Someone need to sign. So they were there. Right. So I have invited two of them to come and listen on this show and just
Okay.
know what their sister is going through. And I'm still hoping that by the end of this show, in the next 2 hours or so, she might just pick up the courage and just talk.
No, it's
Because
okay. She doesn't need to talk. It's fine. It's fine. I don't even want her to talk. She's not there yet. It's fine.
you
It's
have
fine.
his name, right? Please,
It's
just a
okay.
background check would help us to even understand what that man is up to.
All right. No problem. Thank you
Thank you
so
so
much. You're
much,
a good
everybody,
friend.
for
Yeah.
listening. Thank you.
So I'm sharing my link now. BO is already here. And let's talk about this. BO, thank you, bro. I appreciate
Yeah,
you.
thank you. I'm in the office today.
I see.
So
I see.
yeah, I just left my office. I came to the games room. Now, I want to say something. You see, this is a touching topic. The reason why it's touching is not because of gender, it's because this topic is actually what I would classify as man's injustice to man.
Absolutely.
So um, it's so funny how people have not taken marriage, especially men. I know women still do it, but I'm just saying mostly as a medium of trying to abuse another, and you call that marriage. Of course, some persons have taken advantage of this, and you know the bitter truth. Some of them, it has actually worked for them. It is the bitter truth.
Yeah.
So, what am I trying to say here? You know, I am in a position that, based on my circumstances, I know people that I hear things from, advice that people give, even a fellow man, and all those kind of stuff. The men abroad, that is we, me, myself included, you know, you have to be very disciplined. You have to have the true fear of God. I'm not saying whether you're a Christian or Muslim. You have to have the real true fear of God to be able to take yourself out of this stupid art that is going round and round. These men,
Rabio,
yes,
Rabio,
are you
sorry,
hearing me?
I'm hearing you. Let me just quickly break in. Somebody says he should steal a copy of his passport. She needs to stamp his passport. So I can tell you, Neka, that that's not possible. They say he used to hide. He will lock his suitcase. You cannot even access anything he brought. Go ahead.
So I
He
think
came
the
prepared.
first,
This brother, this man
that's what
came prepared.
you just said it. That
He
is the
was
word I want to
prepared
say.
from day
Because
one.
we are even talking now, even right now, before the Ineka was even posting that thing. Ineka, you already hear what we are saying. This is a planned scheme. I think you
Yes.
don't understand. You know, when somebody plans something, they plan it according to years. See, it is man in you. When you hear of modern day slavery, this is what is called modern day slavery. I'm telling you. So, a situation where a man knows that I can go to Naija, this woman, for instance, I can control her economy, I can control her opportunity, not just control her economy, her opportunities as well, so that she never have that opportunity to grow. Do you understand what we are saying here? So it's like, if you remember, for you to understand this, you need to go and watch a slavery movie to understand the tactics, the schemes that the slave masters uses to oppress their slaves. It is a strong word to say, but that is how it is. So for somebody to
Try.
come and ask a woman's hand in marriage with an intention of enslaving that fellow human being, do you think that person has heart? That person does not have heart. But the justification for it is try to give useless excuses like, oh, maybe they were once married, they noticed the abroad woman did this.
They are like this, yes.
You know what I'm trying to say?
You are right, Bio. It sounds like someone who had a negative experience of marrying in abroad before.
Yes.
So he decided that if I'm going to do it this time around, I will show her that I'm the yoga.
Thank you.
He will never be in a position to challenge me.
Yes. So they are very intentional about what they are doing. But here is the thing for me. For all the few men there listening to me or get to listen to my voice, here is my own take. Whatever you do in life, always know one thing, that even if you think you go away with it, there is always a repercussion for it, some way or the other.
Karma.
Do you understand? I know somebody today that the father refused to fight for because he never want the mom and the children to have opportunity in the US. The man fell ill. They took this man back to Benin where he eventually deleted. After his deletion, it was the man's pali and everything that they use now. The girl is here. Now, why am I trying to explain this to you? Is because if you understand one simple fact about life, that was what the slave master understood before they brought freedom. You cannot enslave any human being forever.
No.
You cannot. Delay is not denial. So whatever you are doing, there must be a day that it will over you. So as somebody that have that understanding, instead of waiting for that day of karma to come, just make sure that you open that door. That is why, like me, I have set a standard for myself and say, listen, I will prefer a woman that is doing well, that I even can see a bad character when she's even doing well. I don't know if you understand my point, than for me to say, okay, I go and marry a woman that I know that the family, everybody even depend on me because I came from America. You don't understand what I'm trying to say? Try to control our economy, enslave her, leave her in Naija. So some will say, let the children grow first. Don't bring her here yet. Whatever you do, you have to understand that even your children, when they grow, they will understand what kind of father that you are. So this gang of men, whether in the US, whether in the UK, wherever you are, that you say, okay, intentionally, you want to go and capture a woman somewhere, some already have family here, then you go back to Naija and start a fresh family again. A fresh family. And because the currency here is higher, if they are dependent on you, you use that to control and make the woman voiceless. Voiceless. This is trying to shut up the voice of the woman.
So, Bio, I understand everything that you're saying and you are spot on as usual, but what's the way for, me, I'm always about.
So here's the way forward.
Going forward, what can she do?
Okay.
And now, the part that is really worrying me, because the way Tonya explained it, she's beginning to exhibit some mental health issues now.
Yes. Okay. Auntie B, the way forward, which thank you very much for the opportunity to conclude with the way forward on my submission. My first comment on this forum was a simple statement that I made. For our ladies out there still listening to me, I am on my knees begging. Even when the slave masters were oppressing the slaves, for instance, the slaves also had their own parts to play. What am I trying to say? Please, Adewale, Prince Adewale, our prince here, have continued made that statement that your womb is the highest gift that you can give to a man.
Yes.
What am I trying to say here? We are not trying to condemn whoever have made that mistake, but let us start first. My first batch of advice. is that
stop having children. Don't
stop
have more
having
children.
children.
Yeah.
Auntie B, there is somebody, is your friend, I don't want to mention it, went on Instagram yesterday and was doing a dating show, and somebody shared it with me. It's the first time I clicked that link. I noticed that 99.9% of the callers were young girls from Nigeria
They want to
calling.
come abroad.
They want to come abroad.
They think abroad is all that. Eh?
When I started writing on the comment section that no, stop this, people
They will
started
curse you. They
what
will
now?
curse
They
you well,
started
well,
attacking me that
sure.
do people think you're abroad? I was trying to explain to them that listen, this is just a trap.
They won't
You
listen,
know?
oh.
So, Auntie B, what I'm saying this is that we are, like as usual, we will only learn that our voice can only get into the ears that are willing to listen.
Listen, Benny.
These men that think they are clever, Auntie B, I told you in the comment section, they are only clever by half. In America, that is where we say you are only clever by half when you think you are clever. So these women should know that the catch for these men is having kids. That's the primary catch. I'm telling you, there are no man will come from America to marry you to remain in Nigeria if it's not children is looking for.
Bio, please let me ask you this. I know you are not in that category, but you are a man. Unfortunately, I have to ask you. Shebi they say men like Kerewa. How can you not live in the diaspora? Your wife is in Nigeria for 10 whole years and you've only visited 3 times. What are you doing for Kerewa in the 10 years?
Because they're not marrying that woman. That's what I'm telling you, Auntie B, that the marriage to that woman, when you see somebody like a tools, I hate to use these words because they are strong words that are so dehumaning. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, Auntie B?
Yes.
This set of men, that's why we are calling them users. They are just using the girl to have baby.
Hey.
Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you?
She's just making baby for him and keeping that. So when they ask him, like I asked a Canadian daddy, are you married? Say yes. But where is your wife? You keep her where you can tell her what to do.
Thank you. So what they want is that they are just using, they are not, do you think they are marrying the woman because they want to say I'm married?
There's another angle.
Kerewa where they know they see.
Another angle be say some of them they be in the LGBT community.
No, we know that one, but what we are saying now, we are dealing with people that would live here. It's different from that one. Is different from letting the world know. Me, I'm telling you that once a man is here, getting old or whatever, getting older and is looking for wife and come back to Nigeria, is not planning to bring the woman here. The catch for that man is he wants to start a family, want to start having children. That is the catch. You remember when this last
they're just
session,
using them.
Please, what is the name of this man that called last time that we had the conversation? I've forgotten that his name again. The gentleman. Well, no need to mention the name.
Ekene.
Okay, his name is Ekene. Thank you.
The traditional Igbo man that has his values. I saw him. Let me tell you, I saw him. I saw him on Man of Prestige. I saw him Man of Prestige today. Man of Prestige posted something, or posted something on his community page about Yul Edochie. You guys have been hearing about Hilda Bassi, who broke the Guinness Book of Record for the longest cooking time. She's cooked for 100 hours plus. So Man of Prestige posted Hilda Bassi in his community page, where there was another post that they said that Watermelon said, I also broke record of marrying the most caring man, the most. And somebody made a comment and said, you broke the record of breaking somebody's home. You know this Ekene went there and said, how did Judy break somebody's home?
Thank you. Okay, well, so you can just imagine. Thank you for that. You can just imagine that already can tell a lot of things. But what the point I wanted to make when I mentioned his name here was to reference a statement, a question that I asked Auntie B, because you asked about what is the way forward. So that's what I'm treating now.
Yes.
You remember I asked Ekene a question that Auntie B, even you as a mother today, the same question as Ekene is what I want to ask you. Sorry. If your son or your daughter, example, find love with somebody, even though you are in the UK, I'm not saying you are in you are in a good place. Let's say your son come to you today. Let's not even use Nigeria as example, so it not look like it's between Nigeria and whatever.
No, I already know where you're going. The first thing you ask them is, how are you doing? How are you doing this marriage? Where are you going to live? Are you moving,
where are you going
or
to
she's
live?
moving?
Even if you like, let the man be from America, let the woman be from
because the
UK.
first thing is being together. Marriage
Being
is
together.
about, even it's the way I understand it, Brabio, thank you so much. You've spoken very well. The first thing is that if distance, for instance, keeps you apart because you have no control,
right?
Because of documents, immigration, and all that, I will understand. But we are flipping it now to say people are deliberately doing it.
This one is not circumstances causing, no. Deliberate, intentional.
No, this one hard,
you have family before, then you now decide to say, okay, let me travel first. We are talking of people deliberately. So, with that being said, conclusively, is that please, no matter how, my fellow Nigerians back home, if a guy comes to marry you from abroad, we are not saying there are good people with good intentions. We cannot use a blanket to just cover everything. The necessary questions should be asked. The necessary things should be done. Don't be blindfolded with even though you feel I don't really need the abroad or whatever, make sure. In fact, when somebody is in Abuja, you go marry person for Benin or Lagos, don't they think of this marriage? Is it going to work? What is our plan in the next 1 year? Am I relocating or you are relocating? I don't understand how people think. How can you just position somebody in a place for years? So that is a trap. Because that is why the US government already know we even have what we call fiancé visa. You don't even need to marry the person.
Yes.
As I am here today, me as a US person today, and to let me even tell you this, if I choose to marry somebody from Nigeria now, I don't even need to marry the person first.
Before they can come.
I can bring the person here first. They will give us 90 days to decide.
90 days fiancé.
Yes, they give you 90 days.
Angela and Michael.
So, no, it's true to Auntie B. So they will give you 90 days to decide. So, and this person you are bringing, of course, somebody maybe you've already said, okay, before you file for the person for that visa, you already know that it's somebody you are likely going to marry because both of you maybe have seen each other before and all that. After 90 days, if you are not satisfied, people do it. They ask the person, what is your next line of action? Are you going to, yes now. I know a daughter that brought 2 people through 90 days. Igbo to Igbo. I'm not joking now. Igbo to Igbo. 2 people, one went back, one is settled 1 year in the US.
Just because you are from the same tribe doesn't mean that you are going to get along or that you're going to like the person. No, it doesn't follow.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, so when they brought the first one came here, he asked her, after 90 days, things did not work. That one said she don't want to go back. He settled her way, and she's still in the US. This, I'm not telling you of saying
that's a good pricing.
I'm telling you, Nigerians are now, some of us men are so selfish. We are now behaving like in the village of the blind. The man with one eye is a king among the blind. All this travel to America, travel here, visa and all, there's nothing there if we are really sincere to ourselves.
No, people will not understand.
There are no big deals there. So, Auntie B, let other people contribute.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate it. You know what? You have some work to do for us, B.O. I'll send you the information. We need to find out his status in the US, yeah? I've got the information.
No
I'll send
problem.
it to you. All right. Thank you.
No problem. All right.
All right. God bless you. Thank you so much, brother B.O. We appreciate you. You always bring it 100%. Thank God for men like you. Olabi, thank you for giving me super chat. You are really enjoying the show. Olabi said, why should I marry a lady to control her? The boy was speaking for himself. Oh, I can say he was not speaking for the real men. Abi, Eshe Goni, oh, Amadupe, oh. Over the farm. Ordinary to like when I know they like. See, Owolabi, they give me double super chat now. You don't give me $5. Now you don't give me $10. These are men who are secured. Hey, it's good to have security. Like you feel secured in yourself because you know who you are. Security comes from knowing who you are. You know who God has made you to be. So, which kind of salary one woman they collect where go come they threaten you when you know that what you bring to the table is even more than money. This is why I'm keep telling you, brothers. Women are, yes, we like comfort, we like somebody who can provide, but the main thing a woman needs is somebody who can meet her emotional needs. You see, that's what they call love. They call love. We like we too like we like just love a woman well. You go submit a paycheck without you asking. I don't talk all the time from this platform. I know it's like you brothers are not, you don't listen when I'm talking. Adewale, I come to you. Let me come to Dr. Miriam, who is working, so that we can hear what she has to say. Hello, Dr. Miriam. How are you?
Hello, Auntie B. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, my darling. Welcome.
Oh, thank you so much. And hello, Obodo Farm. Thank you so much for taking my call, Auntie B. First, I enjoy your show so much. So thank you for all you do. I had to come in today. This is my first time because I really want to talk about a case that I saw in my very own clinic. And,
Really?
there's certain things that you learn in medical school, but when you see it with your own eyes, then you really, really believe that it is true.
Really?
So, yeah, so long-term chronic depression from emotional DV, from financial DV or physical DV can actually lead to a medical condition called pseudo dementia,
Hey,
which
Roberto.
means that uh, pseudo dementia is fake dementia, right? The person presents like somebody who has dementia, but what has happened is that they've been slowed down by depression, and so they start having trouble with speech. They may start forgetting things. They start having trouble with organizing their thoughts. It will start really, really slowly, and then kind of like your grandmother, but these are people in their 50s and 60s. Something that you will see in someone who is in their 70s and 80s or 90s, you will start seeing in somebody who has undergone experienced chronic DV. Maybe in their 40s, you start seeing these symptoms. They have trouble organizing, they have trouble planning, they feel like they're not themselves. So I had a patient, this is about 10 years ago, and she is a Black American woman. The first time she became my first patient, she was about 52 years old. And at that time, she was completely okay. And, she had been undergoing, it's a Black American woman, she had been undergoing, experiencing long-term emotional DV from her husband. We talked about it. We would talk about it every time. I would encourage her, hey, please, let's put you on medication. Let's do this. But of course, we want to just pray about it. This woman, within 5 years, she became a completely different person. She became forgetful. She could not remember me, her doctor, who she had been seeing for 5 years, 2-3 times a year. She could not remember her daughter. At night, her daughter had to move her into her house because you know how when the elderly get dementia, they cannot cook again because they may leave the stove on. This happened to her. This woman just at 60. She became my patient around 52. By 57 or so, she started experiencing these symptoms. Right, 57. Can you imagine? She could not cook. She could not cook again. Her daughter her daughter came to me crying because she said now it's like I have a baby in the house because we cannot sleep in the night. She'll run out.
She's wondering.
So, yes, this is a woman who experienced emotional DV for over 20 years.
Of course, there's an impact.
No physical DV, emotional.
Yeah.
And depression that was not addressed. So the reason why I'm saying this is because this is a case that opened my eyes to the impact of emotional DV. All that gaslighting, all that it is your fault, all that you made
me do it.
You made me do it, or the silent treatment, or not talking to you for a long time. All those things, they can lead to depression, and depression actually remodels your brain. So as I was listening to the wonderful lady who came and testified about her friend, maybe what she is experiencing is not charms.
I didn't think it was charms, to be honest.
It could be depression, and she needs medical help. That's why I called in to sound the alarm. Because had I not seen this case myself in clinic, this lady came to me at 52. By 57, she was a completely different person. And at the later stages, I sent her to a psychiatrist and a neurologist just to make sure that I was not misdiagnosing her, and they accepted. At the later stages, they start urinating on themselves. You become a completely, it was a case I've never seen in my whole life, and I don't wish that on anybody. Emotional DV is very serious. It's very serious. So please, your friend needs help. Your friend needs medical attention. She needs help. She needs a psychotherapist. She needs a medical physician who can manage her mental health. She needs help, medical help.
Oh, thank you so much, doctor. Now I'm weak, honestly, because I know what dementia is. I deal with people who suffer and present with all these symptoms that you just mentioned. And for somebody that young, not because she's predisposed to it because of genetics or whatever, but because of DV, it makes it so sad. Do you know why she couldn't leave?
She's church.
She's a Christian.
She's a Christian. Black Americans, they're like us Africans now.
Yeah.
God
hates divorce.
Yes, and she was a very, very quiet woman. She's a very quiet woman. And as they were going, and the sad thing is that because she lost her mind, she became, she developed that pseudo dementia. The man took over her house, took over her things. It became a legal, it affected, the legal aspect of it too, because her husband is next of kin legally. So even though the daughter she had, that was her stepfather, they couldn't get help. They couldn't get help for her. Because I had taken care of her for 5 years before she changed. I wept in front of her family because I could not. You should see this woman, beautiful, quiet, spoken woman. Her daughter and her sister will bring her in like that, and I would just be looking at her and say, do you remember me? No. And we've had deep conversations about her abuse. We had deep conversations about her husband. Because when a black sees a black, they want to tell me everything. And I would talk to her, would beg her. The drastic change in this woman, I will never forget her. And it made me really understand that these things that we take for granted, when a man or a woman is talking down to you, when they are constantly berating you, it can cause a serious problem in you. And it can cause some really significant changes. At the end, I left that job, so I wasn't taking care of her. But by the time I left her, she could not recognize her own daughter again.
And the funny thing, the worst thing, I was just doing an assessment today about somebody who lacks capacity because of vascular dementia. It's a debilitating, disease, and it affects the brain and the mind, and you don't get better. You don't recover from it.
No. Her own was so fast. Her own was
yeah.
Her own was so, the world is changing. Like I always tell people, because they talk about women. Oh, you come to the diaspora, you change, you change, you change. I say, the diaspora is different. In back home, we have a lot of support. So even if you don't have support in your home, you have a way to relieve your stress. That stress bucket that you talk about, Auntie B, which is very brilliant. You have a way to relieve your stress. By the time you go to a birthday party, by the time you go to this meeting, by the time you go to church, by the time you do all these activities, you have a way of relieving stress. In America, you can be like a
Where's the
ticking
time?
time
Where's the
bomb.
time? Where is the time? Even if you have the time, where is the weather to do that? We in the UK, we even suffer the more. We have 2 weeks of summer in a whole 365 days.
Hmm. So this Black American woman, that case, it taught me so much. And the husband, took over the house. Her daughter, who was his stepdaughter, had no access to her things. So in fact, it caused a bigger problem because all her benefits, all that stuff, he took over. And then so her daughter had to put her in daycare because she has to
Because
go to work.
because it was next of kin.
Exactly. I mean, it
Hmm.
was a terrible thing. In 8 years of taking care of that woman, I never saw him with my two eyes.
So he didn't come to your
No,
assessments
never,
and all your visits.
never,
He
never.
left
He
her to come
never.
alone.
Towards the end, when she was, basically a shell of herself, it was her sister and her daughter who used to come. And every time her daughter came, her daughter would cry because her daughter's life stopped. Her daughter had her own fiance, her own children, but now she has a whole, her mother to take care of. I
A
mean, it
mother,
was
a
it.
mother that is like a child.
Hmm.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Amiran. Thank you for giving us the medical perspective. I really appreciate you for calling. I'm so sad right now. I don't even know how I feel. This woman, she doesn't deserve this. Nobody deserves this. Men like this, do you know the damage? Do you know the damage that you do? Do you know? So, Tonya, what I'm going to say to you is that listen to what Dr. Miran just told us. Your friend is already on the path, oh, because mental health, now say they start, oh. Mhm. Yorùbá máa ń sọ pé wèrè máa ń dùn wò kò ṣe bí lọ́mọ. It's not a joke. Find somebody to interpret it to you. That's how it starts. Okay. Let me allow Adewale because this is a lot. Okay. Adewale, hello darling.
Hello, Auntie
Welcome.
B. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Today's story is quite a sad one, and I know this has been happening for quite a while, but I've not really heard like story from someone that it has happened to, or someone who knows someone that this has happened to. So I'm going to talk about like give a few points on what happened to this auntie, this lady, and I'm also going to give a few suggestions on what she could do moving forward. So as everyone knows, Nigeria is a very patriarchal society. So a lot of us come from families where our mothers or our sisters or our aunties are only to be seen, not heard in their marriages. Let's all be honest. So a lot of us grew up in that kind of environment, and it not only affects the girl child in the family, sometimes also affect the guys. I mean, my younger sister got married recently, and my brother-in-law was saying that sometimes my sister doesn't know how to ask for what she wants. Then I told him that he needs to be patient and bear with her because where we grew up and where we came from, we were taught not to say what we want, but to wait until we're given what we want. So sometimes you'd have problems explaining what she actually wants. So you need to be patient with her.
Hmm.
So that's the side effect of living in that kind of society. So for some of us, a lot of the guys, if they've grown up in that kind of society and maybe they stayed until their 20s and they got to move abroad or the US when they're like 25, 26, that mindset is ingrained in them. And it takes a lot of effort for that kind of man or that kind of boy or that kind of person to change that mindset. So some of the men, when Nigeria or wherever African country you're coming from, some of them when they go abroad, they change because they are willing to change. So you don't see those kind of men going back to Nigeria to go look for a wife because they're seeing that the Nigerian women in their abroad, their eye don't open. They don't say that because they understand that in a developed world, women are also human beings. They have opinions, they have feelings. They can actually say what they want. They're not some, you know, forgive me for using this word, animal that you need to subordinate, like you need to put down.
Control.
But they're not
Control.
some animal that you
Like
need
a
to
dog.
control.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to see them as human beings. I think we always miss that aspect. They are human beings. They're not something you need to control. So those men change. They change their attitude, and then there's some. Unfortunately for Mr. Kenny, I'm going to say his name. That they're not going to change. They're still going to claim traditional men. And I always find it very ironic that you're someone who lives in Dallas, Texas. You're someone who lives in America, and you're claiming to be traditional. That just sounds ironic to me. I don't know how. I don't know how that makes sense.
So what they do, people like that, they take the trimmings of the modern society,
Exactly. They try to
but
eat
when it
their cake
comes
and
to
have it.
a relationship and marriage, they hold on to their forefathers'
They
ideas.
hold on to their forefathers. So
Yeah.
those kind of men, at first, what they would do is they would get married to a Nigerian lady or an African lady in the America there, hoping that African lady would hold on to the same traditions and mindset in Africa. But then they soon realize that those women also change their mindset because they realize that they have power in their voice. They're not something to be controlled. And these men rebel. And then what they used to do in the back then is they'll go back to Nigeria, wherever they came from, to bring another, lady over and
No,
try
they are
to,
not bringing them over now.
that's
Adewale.
what that's what they used to do. And then they
Yes,
heard
that's
stories that
before.
those,
Now they've come to a place where they are not even
yes,
bringing them over
they're
now.
not
They
bringing
they
them
leave
over.
them in.
Then
Yeah.
they leave them there. They leave them there. I don't call that a marriage because that's not a marriage. That's separation. It's not a marriage. There's no companionship. You're not raising your kids together. Your wife is the only one raising the kids. You don't know what the kids look like. You don't know what they sound like. You didn't witness their
Their
first
delivery,
step. You didn't
their
witness
first step.
anything. You didn't witness
Nothing.
anything. You're basically not their father. Let's just be
Hey.
honest. You're not. You're just a genetic contribution to their existence. That's all. You're not their father. And I'm also going to say to those women who happen to find themselves in this situation, like the lady we had today, those men are not married to you. You're not married to them. That's not a marriage. It's not a marriage. I think that's the first thing they need to realize, that these men are not married to you. They're just holding on to the fact that they're abroad. That's all. They're not married to you. So
Adewale, do
I
you know
think
the thing that really, thank you very much. You always speak very well. You know how much we appreciate and love you here. I got sad for a minute here because what Dr. Miran said. I feel like they make other women, unsusceptible women, very, women who they don't know anything. They've never been outside Nigeria. They are not that exposed. They went to school, but they still believe in the traditional, ideas about marriage. My husband is my head. I will submit to my husband. I love my husband. My duty is to support my husband, care for my husband and my family, which a lot of Nigerian women do. Why do they
yes.
make them pay for whatever brokenness they suffered from other women?
It's because they don't see women as human beings. That's the essence of it. They just see them as tools for procreation. Because if they see them as human beings, they're not going to treat them the way they do.
Because
They
I
don't.
feel like some of these women and men, yeah, some of these brothers, especially the one we're talking about tonight, they've experienced something that makes them think this way and reason this way. It's because of their personal experiences. But usually the person that suffers, and you know the part of the whole story that is doing my head in, that is making me so sad tonight, is the fact that her mental health is suffering.
It
Because you
is.
know what mental health, I shared the story here about my sister. Then I
She
didn't know
begin.
what mental health was. I don't know what mental illness was. This is how it starts.
This is how it
When
starts.
a
This is
woman
the
has been
beginning.
going through so much DV, it starts from mental health. You don't know. You start walking
She
and
begins
talking to
to.
yourself.
She begins to lose herself. She begins to. Like she turns to a shadow of herself, like that friend described. That's what start happening because that man has cheap. Like he has taken away
10 years. It's been taken away. 10 years
any
it's been.
self confidence she had. 10 years. That's a long time.
Three visits
That's
in
a
10
long
years,
time.
Adewale. Three
Three visiting
visits.
change. That's he's not her husband. To him, she's just someone who helped him get kids. That's all. Even he's not technically he's not the father of those kids because he's absent. So I think she needs to realize that. And I think the first help that she can get, she needs people around her, especially her family. Her
So
family,
she's listening. I told her she's listening. The first thing you need to go and tell your family. All this one
your
you are still
family,
doing, you
exactly.
are hiding. Whoa. Before you know it,
Don't
you will
hide
enter market.
anything.
You will enter market before you know it. You better go and tell
Don't
your
hide
family what you are
anything.
going through. Tell
You
them
ha-
what you are going through. You are in pain.
she has to tell her family. She has if I might even make a suggestion that her friends needs to tell her family because this is urgent. Her family needs to know because she needs her family around her. Because right now she's going to be feeling like there is no one in the world to help her. She's going to feel helpless because the person who is supposed to be her world, her partner, her confidant, someone who's supposed to go through life with her is treating her this way. It has a way of making you feel like that you're less than, like you're not a human being anymore. You
Because
begin to
when
lose
marriages
yourself.
fail, you know how it is now. In Nigeria, when
Yes,
marriages fail, it's the woman's fault.
it's a woman's fault. Exactly. They
But
blame
how
the
can you
woman.
blame this young lady now? She's not even been in the marriage. She's been in Nigeria and was visited three
She's
times
not
in 10
even
years.
she's not even in the marriage. There's no marriage for her. This is not a marriage. It's not. It's a scam, basically. This is a scam. It's not a marriage, it's a scam. So she needs her family around her first. That's the first thing she needs. And then she needs mental help. She needs to talk to someone professional that can help her process her emotion, get her to a place where she admits that this man is not her husband. I'm sorry, he's not. Because that man has no intention of living with her or even bringing her kids over to where he is. That's not his intention. His intention is what his mindset is okay, yeah, I have this woman somewhere who gave birth to kids for me. So I have my DNA somewhere. That's fine and good. I'm not gonna bring her over here so she doesn't get what's the word these men use. I forgot that word. Like they get sport or something. I just forget what they say. Whenever I hear them talk, I'm just like, you guys, you don't want to go with the times. You don't want to accept that women have a voice. They can think for themselves. You still want to be in that era where you have power and control over them. And the fact that the West provides them with those rights, you
It's a
don't want to
problem.
accept that. So you
Yeah.
go back to wherever you came from to have some sort of power or whatever you have. It's just sad. I think she just needs to accept that this man is not her husband. She needs to move on with her life. Admit that this man in her life, he doesn't exist. He's not there to take care of her kids. I mean, she has to
Imagine,
beg.
imagine him even coming back and trying to get her pregnant for the third baby.
No time.
He wants to do
Exactly.
IVF when you cannot even provide for the ones you already have. Ah,
What's that? What does that
ah.
say? He
No, no,
sees
no, no,
her
no, 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 no.
as a tool. That's what he sees her as a tool
So you want more
for procreation.
children, and the ones you have, you are not even there
You
for
can't
them.
take care of
They can't
them.
wake up and say, "Daddy, my nose is running. Daddy, I didn't sleep well." They don't have a daddy. Do you know what it
They
means to wake
don't.
up to a daddy?
They don't.
Ah, all of you
They
men that are
don't.
going to, you are doing this thing, and you are watching me. I know you guys always watch. You are in your
It's
shadows.
like it's pure wickedness. Pure wickedness.
You are not a
Pure
daddy, yo.
wickedness.
You are not a daddy.
He's not a
A
father.
daddy is
He's
the
not
one
there.
that you are there.
He's absent. That's not a father. He's absent. And I think the lady, she needs to admit that and see that clearly.
So
Because that would help her.
if she has a daughter, the daughter is going to be left, thinking, who is this man? Do I even know him? He visits me once in 3 years. Who is this?
Who's he? Who's he?
Who is he? Who is this man? There's no role figure. There's no male figure.
Nothing.
Nobody to
Nothing.
teach her. If it's a
Nothing.
boy, nothing. Because you
It's
want
not.
to maintain some silly tradition.
I just always laugh. Like, if you want to have the so-called tradition you want to have, why are you not in Nigeria? Why are you
I
in the
wonder.
abroad?
No, not Nigeria. They were like, why are you not in your village? Why are you in
Exactly.
America?
Why are you there?
Why are you in America? If you disagree with everything that America stands for, but you go
Why
to
are you
America
there?
to make money, you want the dollar, but you don't want what the dollar represents.
Exactly. It's just hypocrisy for me. It's just hypocrisy. Why are you there? You go back to Nigeria, you get whatever, what's the word they use? Submissive woman they're looking for. I don't know.
Thank you,
Why are you
Adewale.
there? You just wasted this lady's life. 10 years of her life. You wasted it. The children she had for you, you're not taking care of them. You're absent. You're not providing. So I just think she needs like
It's a
serious help.
non-existent. Yeah, no, it's a non. It's a
She
non.
needs she like the lady. I don't even want to talk about the man anymore because he's just, I don't even know what to describe. Use the word you used to describe him. I just feel like the lady, she needs like serious help, and first thing she needs is her family around her. So her
Yeah,
family,
she needs urgent help.
they
Urgent,
need to,
like you
they
said.
need to know what's going on. They need to know what's
Mm,
going on. They can't just have like an idea. They need to know exactly what's going on, what this man has been doing for the past decade.
mm. Thank you so much, Adewale. I do appreciate you. Thank you very much. You taught us a lot of things for a young man who is on, a very different journey. But your awareness, your level of maturity is, in fact, some 60, 70-year-old men don't have it. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you, love. Bamdi said, "Dear Auntie B, I went through the same thing. That doctor was not correct. I almost lost myself due to a marriage to a psychopath." She said, "Please, women, protect your mental health." When Dr. Miren spoke, I just, you know, he really, really touched me. Because now I'm thinking, this young woman is in Nigeria now. Her options are very limited. The husband is telling her, never ever will I bring you to America. You are never coming. What will she do? What is she going to do? Michelle. So I'm writing the show up now. And in ending, I'm just going to say that everything we do in this world, for me personally, I see it as a seed. You are sowing a seed. And whatever we sow, we shall reap. Lágbára Elédùà. So if you are still listening, Tonia's friend, you need to go talk to your family. Don't hide it because they are going to judge you. Yes, it's Nigeria. We are all Nigerians, so we know they will always judge. It doesn't matter. Your mental health is more important than their judgment. Go talk to your family and tell them what you've been going through. Tell them, because you think, Molegberui, I can take this load, I can do it, but you are not succeeding because you're already suffering mentally. Let me tell you something. That journey you are now, your mental health that is declining, is not going to lead to somewhere good. If you don't want to lose your mind completely, and you don't want to end up in a psychiatric ward whereby strangers will be looking after your children, you better go and speak to your family first. And then when you speak to them, come with a plan of what you want to do. Forget about what people will say. People will always say, Shebina Injani. People will always say in Nigeria, but it's about your well-being. Are you happy? Are you okay? Are your children okay? Are you getting by? So, when you reach your matter, you go look right, look left, look center, and you go think very critically what you need to do. Okay? On our part, we are going to help you. And the first thing we need to do is to establish the status of this Mongo Park. This Nigerian Mongo Park, where say na three visits in 10 years. So we're going to find out what he's up to in America. I trust my brother to help me do that digging. Not be me, na God. So we're going to find out. What's he up to? Is it that he has another family in America? Is that why he's keeping you in Nigeria? We're going to find out. Okay? But I'm more concerned about your mental health. Your mental health is what is really doing my head in now. Your mental health and what Tony has told us about your mental health is affecting my own mental health now. So that's, you need to do something about it. No neglect Amo. Don't look away and say, it's nothing. You don't go all the deliverance, you don't go all the churches, it's not working. You are a married single woman. So what are your options and what do you want to do? And to all the brothers that are listening here, if you are of this school of thought where you still believe that in 2023, I don't need a woman that has a mind of her own. I don't need a woman that can even, talk to me. I just want somebody that will be a servant to me. Dada, think about it properly. What goes around comes around. You want to leave a family? Bio gave us a typical example of a man who did the same thing. He went to Nigeria to go and delete. Ayoshi, ayofo, aye rada. Your children will not know you. Your wife is a stranger to you. You're going to delete a very miserable man. Because it's in your old age that you will know that you need your family around you. So you want to bring your children when they are grown. You want to bring your wife when you are old and you need a carer. Okay. No wahala. So what I can assure you, my dear sister, if you are still listening, is that we're going to look into your husband to see what he's up to. Maybe he has another family or he doesn't, or he's LGBT. And here we don't have any problem with LGBT, but we have a problem with deception and Mongo Parks. And this man has exhibited everything relating to Mongo Park. So we'll look into it and I will give you updates. Thank you guys for watching. Give us a thumbs up if you have not yet done so. Please look after your mental health. Go out. Okay? Have a good time. Whatever you can do. I know it's difficult because it's not sending money. Nigeria is hard. It's not easy to enjoy like that. But you need to go out. Speak up. The first thing you need to do is to speak out. Stop hiding. All this hiding, no, they save anybody. So speak out. So thank you everybody for watching. On Thursday, I am back. Thursday evening, same time. We have a very interesting topic. And I will have a young lady called Miss Rancis and Man of Prestige here. They are my guests. And we're going to be talking about all these people that are jackpying. Jackpa, are you jackpying at the risk of your marriage? They say people jackpa, when they come here, their marriage know they work. 2 years later, everything are break. What is happening? Why are people so happy in marriage? Or they appear, let me put it that way, to be happily married in Nigeria when they jackpa 2 years later, especially in the UK. I guess in the UK they happen now, and the marriages are breaking. Okay. And on Sunday, I'm going to talk about Saint Obi. I didn't have time to do the thumbnail. We're going to be talking about how men also suffer. There's a fraction of men that suffer. I'm not ignorant of what is happening. So Saint Obi deleted a few days ago, about maybe 3 or 4 days ago. And we've been hearing so many things about his marriage. I hear that he married this big babe who is an telecom executive, and the in-laws made his eye to see shege. So I've heard it from different sources who know Saint Obi. They say he contributed to his broken heart. The wife did not allow him to see the children, and he got sick, and that's what led to how he deleted. Sunday night, I'm going to look at that. Okay? So be here. There are female Mongo Park, and any woman that doesn't want to live to cleave is a problem. So we're going to be looking at the Saint Obi situation because the voices are very loud on social media, and I don't want us to come across as a platform whereby we always talk about men who are doing the wrong thing, and when women do the wrong thing, we just overlook it. No. There are women Mongo Park, and we are going to be talking about women Mongo Park on Sunday night. Yeah. Everything I've seen on social media since Saint Obi deleted is that his deletion was as a result of his marriage. They say that the brother-in-law, that he saw shege in that marriage, and the wife deprived him, the ex-wife. They say he had a very bitter divorce, and that the wife deprived him of access to his children. That's what led to his illness. So did Saint Obi delete as a result of broken hearts? Remember, we talked about broken heart syndrome here the other day. It's not only women that suffer for it. Everybody suffers for it. So on Sunday, we'll talk about Saint Obi. All right? So make it a day, Thursday and Sunday. Okay? Rebecca, you know about Saint Obi's wife? Okay, we'll talk about it. Junior says big news here in Lagos. The wife showed him pepper. Okay. Female Mongo Park is our topic on Sunday. But before then, Thursday, join us to talk about Jackpa marriages and how they are struggling in the diaspora. Okay? Thank you guys, everybody. I appreciate you. Thanks for being with me. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you've not done so. And I will see you on Thursday night. God bless you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Have a good evening. Have a good afternoon. Love you guys. Bye.